number 1 for URC. We begin in Belgium. Just usually getting it up on Discord. There we are. Gonna get it up. And this one as well. There we are. We are waiting for a couple more drivers that are supposed to join us. What's my favorite kind of egg? Why is that even a question? I'll guess from a hen. I think that's what it's called in English, at least. But yeah. Season 5, we begin in Belgium. Everyone roasting me because I forgot this is Season 5. But we have the 2-time reigning champion Dan in the McLaren, together with Pi, which is a super strong team. I think they are the main contenders for the constructors for Season 5. You can also see a new name in Lewis the Beaker. Lewis did a few races as a reserve last season, but has stepped up to take that full-time seat in Alpha Tauri, and I think that Lewis can challenge for points in almost every race. Ozan solos this league. While I do believe Ozan will get quite a few points, I don't think Ozan is going to win this. Ozan and Aaron Khan, teammates in Alfa Romeo. I'm gonna go through all the teams. So we have Season 5 in the Haas. We have Arjan and Zach. In the Alpine, Stooge and Sharpie. Williams, Panda and Usuri. Red Bull is Defoskit and Street. Aston Martin is Klepp and Jack. Alfa Romeo is Ozan and Iron. Alfa Tauri is Lewis and Spillage. The Mercedes is Jonesy and Serbo, also a very good team. McLaren, as I've already spoken about, Pi and Dan. And in the Ferrari, Andy and Barbarian. The teams, or the tracks, sorry, is gonna be Belgium for round 1. We have China, Mexico, United States, Canada, Abu Dhabi, UK, Hungary, and we end the season in Monza. as we can see, the drivers wanting to go, and I don't blame them at all. I would also want to get underway, of course. An exciting season, lost season, which ended with Dan winning with 183 points and 84 points ahead of Zach in the Red Bull, which is gonna be very interesting to see. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, Lewis in chat saying, just give McLaren the title now, they are OP. Yeah, they are a very good team. Dan, the reigning champion, Pi, who finished. Let's check the driver standings to make sure. Pi finished in 9th, which is very strong in this team. It looks like we are getting underway. Which we like to see. So, obviously, URC running full qualifying. Which gives us 18 minutes in Q1. And I'm actually not sure how many will... Oh, as iCommons has joined. Lovely. But I'm actually not sure how many will get eliminated. Because sometimes they do 4 and 4 when it's 18 drivers. And sometimes they do 3 and 5. So I'm gonna base it of the real rules. So P15 is safe. But yeah, we will see when we get into Q2 basically, who has gotten eliminated. But Spa, very long track. It's basically 2 minute out lap, 2 minute in lap, and then a 1 minute 40 lap time. So it gives you 3 laps if you 3 push laps if you go out going, as Barbarian has left. But most likely we'll see 2 laps in Q1, except from drivers like Dan, who obviously has the pace to get into Q2. Here we are then, qualifying underway. Barbarian has joined back, which is lovely to see. So we have 19 drivers, which I think makes it quite obvious that top 15 is going to be safe. So everyone sitting there. Setups and tires and everything, and Ozan is the first one on track for season 5. So we will go on board with Ozan as Ozan makes their way around Spa-Francorchamps. This track has a lot of names for corners. I know a few of them. So I'm gonna try and say those because I can't just with googling. But this is a no name. This is basically how it's known. See a Ferrari behind as well. So then Ozan making their way towards bus stop to begin lap number 1, the first flying lap. Of season 5. As we see Brenty and Street out on mediums for Q1. Oh, it's a bit of oversteer there, Ozan. Towards our Rouge and Radion. Oh, and invalidates instantly. That's not what you want. So we'll hop on board. I'll hop to Brenty to get the first competitive lap time. COVID-97 gets a bit of oversteer through the uphill section. And now the long straight before Le Combs, and looks fairly solid through there. Runs a bit wide and validates as well. Lewis then I think is the furthest one along through no name. Through this long left-hander that has a name which I can't remember because I'm horrible with names. Hopefully the Ferrari gets out of the way. And we can see that the Ferrari did get out of the way. Lewis with a purple sector 2, which is because Lewis is the first with a competitive lap time there. And Usuri has crashed. We'll stay on board. 143.6. Is that Ozan? Oh, and Ozan crashes as well. I caught that one on the stream though. Which means both Ozan and Usuri is out. Because when with the Haas of Icomans going very close. Oh, that's number 16. That's interesting. Well, yeah, that's 2 cars out already. We'll go on board with Dan the reigning champion times 2, won both season 4 and 3. Season 2 I think was Zach. Dan does a 43.7, we have a 43.9 from Servo, 43.9 from Spillage, and a 45.3 from Foskett. Street coming towards the line to set a 1:53.4. Seems like a time that has had a mistake somewhere. Go on board with the Alpine of Sharpie coming through bus stop now to end their first qualifying lap, and that's a 1:43.8, so a tenth ahead of Servo. Ferrari Brento as Louis de Beeker improves to a 43.3. Very quick lap time from the Alpha Tauri driver as Brento does a 45.8. Jonesy, I think there was Panda going 6th. Zach is on Alp lap, will go on board with not retired. Josie has invalidated, that's the word. As Zervo picks up the fastest lap of the session so far, 43.1. The track is rubbering up quite a lot. We have Pi on an out lap. Oh, and that's Aaron Cohn invalidating. Running wide of the exit of Lecombs. We'll go on board with iCommons then for the end of their lap, coming towards the very quick left-hander and now towards bus stop. iCommons 45.4 goes P9. And Drunk Pirates Pi beginning their lap now. Icon validation, we will go on board with both Red Bulls have invalidated. Go on board with Drunk Pirates. In the Aston Martin, flying solo today. Now coming towards bus stop. Now towards the line for a 1:43.6, which is P3. We have Pi in the McLaren. Pi goes P3 with a 43.5. A bit of oversteer to top it all off. Iron Con 44.6 goes P10. And Zach goes P3. 43.3. So that leaves everyone either on in-laps. Actually, Zach pushing again, let's see. Yeah, no, Zach is on an in-lap, so we will go with Jonesy then, who hasn't set a lap time and is currently out. Actually, Stooge has an invalid lap, so we will definitely go and work with Jonesy then. Jonesy in the Mercedes, together with Zervo, who is currently in the lead. Hello, Dan. I see you in chat as well. Are you done for Q1 or are you planning on going out again? Jonesy. I'm not sure if that is an actual purple sector 1. As Dan is having a smoke in the garden, that is something you can do during qualifying, which is supposed to be the most tense. But Dan in P6, I don't see 10 drivers improving that much. Jonesy with a 116 something through sector 2 or after sector 2. Again, it was purple, but this game has a habit of lying about that, so we will wait and see. Jonesy coming over the line to do a 1:43.6, which is not purple. It is P5, putting Dan down to 7th. Oh, I'm in the street, invalidating. One Barbarian has had a mishap, cutting a Rouge and don't have a front wing. That will make it hard. At least you have all 4 wheels attached. And iCommons has also invalidated, as we have Lewis in chat saying he's running 1-1 wings because I'm built different. I somehow just have slight feeling that not might be the entire truth. But if you prove to me that you're running 1-1 wings, I can tell you I usually run about 6-4 or 4-6 in one of those orders. So we have Brenty coming towards the final chicane right now on the final elimination place. Needs to find about 4/10 of a second and finds a lot more, 1.5 seconds, and goes P11 for now, which means iCommons is currently out of qualifying. So iCommons will go again. Foskett coming through now as well. Foskett still has an invalid lap time, which is interesting. Yeah. So Foskett have to go around again then to set a lap time. A lap time. Don't know why I said it like that. Street. As Dan did his lap while doing push-ups. Incredible. Street going for another push lap with 1 minute 30 to go, so everyone else is done. Foskett currently in the just outside. And Lewis have sent undisputable proof that it is 1-1 wings that they are running. So, yep, definitely 1-1 wings from from Lewis the Beaker. As iCommons has invalidated somewhere. Can't quite see. I couldn't quite see where, but the stream would have caught that. So Brenty going again. Brenty is safe with my math. Not being the strongest, but definitely correct. The only drivers who have something to worry about is Foskett and Stooge. Oh, iCommons looked slow through there, and now the Ferrari of Brenty has a free toe. Overtakes and will give a free toe to Commons now. But Commons will have dirty air and is quite far behind. Street coming through now. Oh, and spins and will definitely not improve. Will stay P12 for now, Brenty. So we will follow these two, Foskett and iCommons, as this is the fight for elimination. Commons is ahead on track, so we will stay with iCommons. I have some ground to make up. Oh, runs wide and invalidates. iCommons is out of qualifying after running wide and invalidating, so Foskett is through to Q2 because the time has been up for a while. But let's see where Foskett would have put themselves with this lap time. Coming through the final chicane now. Ooh, and iCommons crashed. I can't quite see where it is on the wheel. It is P12. A very good improvement from the Ferrari driver. So the drivers going out in Q1 is Ozan and Usuri, who crashed, Barbarian and iCommons. So very, very interesting. Q2 is awaiting us. So then, Q2, getting ready. We have a Alpha Tauri coming out first, and that's Iron Con. Also, I haven't mentioned, RL Drunk Pirates is actually, or did win Season 1 of URC, which is before my time, but yeah, we have 2 champions on track today, which is always quite fun. And it will be interesting to see where Drunk Pirate can get to at the end of the season. So you can see Anoncon beginning their lap. And I have forgotten to turn on the lap data because apparently the game doesn't like that. As a Ferrari has crashed and the Fosket has crashed. Fosket crashing in a Rouge and Radeon, and I think that Brenty has crashed in Lecombs. Probably touched the first curb and ended up in the wall. Yeah, there it is. Which is another 2 cars out then in qualifying. Which means only 3 drivers are going out on pure pace. And Irocon sets a benchmark of a 1:46.9. Servo sets a new benchmark of a 44.3. Drunk Pirate coming through 44.1. Lewis 44.3. As Ironcon has crashed as well in a Rouge. We'll stay on board here. And there we have it. So another crash. But that Ironcon at least have a time of a 46.9, which is at least something. We will be on board with Stooge, who we didn't see much of Q1, but managed to get through into Q2. And now the question is, can Stooge get into Q3? Only need to beat 2 drivers on pure pace, and obviously needs to beat a 46.9, as Zach beats that time with a 44.2. So this is Stooge going 8th fastest, 44.2. We have had Dan on mediums. That is one thing we have forgotten. There's a lot of mediums. But the question is, will a 44.2 be enough? I actually don't think so. Let's see. Panda is not pushing, Street is not pushing, or Pirate is not pushing. Zach looks to be pushing, but was a bit behind. Maybe made a mistake somewhere that they can. No, goes into the pits. And Street seems to have no front wing, but at least have all tires still attached to the car, which can't be said about Ironcon, Foskett and Brenty. So we've had 5 retirements from qualifying, and it's not the end of Q2 yet. Det kanske du inte fick. Det kan vara rätt bra. Varsågod. That was a family member. I forgot to give them their keys. That was the conversation. Let's go on board with Pi, starting their lap on mediums. For a second I thought someone had gone out, but no. And now all Pi needs to do is beat a 46.9, and Ironcon is out of qualifying. Drunk Pirate, no. Panda going to P3. Pi goes P4, and that's Ironcon out of qualifying. But yeah, we have obviously Jones and Spillage haven't even set a time yet. So Jones has invalidated Spillage, goes P4. just P9, 2000 behind Zach, so I'll go on board with Jones here trying to push again, and we can see the other McLaren of Dan coming out now. Now let's see if Jonesy can hook up the second part of the lap. We have a yellow flag. That's nothing. Oh, has a bit of oversteer, Jonesy. And only goes P12. Has enough time to do a cool down lap, but will have to stay out on these tires, I think. There's a yellow flag in 62, so I can't quite see. Yeah. Has enough time to do a cool down lap, but can't do another push lap. We will go on board with Zach, who is furthest ahead. That was something I didn't think of. Jonesy might be out of fuel. Jonesy might be out of fuel. That is something I actually haven't considered. Lewis is out. Let's see what the tires. It's soft on everyone. Oh, Zach going very quick through sector 2. But the thing is, someone like Lewis and maybe even Drunk Pirate aren't quite in the same rush to set a lap time. They can start out to try and set a lap time, but they might be able to go into Q3 as Zach 43.001. Which puts Dan ever closer. Oh, and Dan has validated, but will make it around. Same for Lewis the Beaker. Stu right now in the hot seat. Servo coming through. Gets a bit of a slipstream. Goes P2, and that is Stooge out of Q2, and Drunk Pirate goes P2 straight after, so Dan is now on the hot seat. With Jonesy, who I think is out of fuel, so won't be able to set. Oh, actually, let's see, Jonesy go into the pit. Jonesy doesn't have enough time. Jonesy's out and goes into the pits anyways. That means Dan, Lewis, Pi are all safe. Don't need to set another lap time. They will get through on their mediums. Let's see if they back off. Lewis looks to have backed off. Actually, scratch that. Lewis is still pushing. Let's see, Pi. Pi is also pushing. Oh, Dan, wide. Oh, and Pi crashes as well in Lecombs. So, even less now for Dan. Won't get eliminated. Both Dan and looks to set. Dan goes P2. Lewis coming through. Can Lewis set a purple lap time? Lewis the Beaker aborts. Lewis the Beaker aborts. Maybe heard the stream, maybe just did the math. Lewis the Beaker is through on mediums and will be the only one starting on mediums. In the top 10. So out is Pi, Stooge and Jonesy. Aaron Con and Fosket. It's unfair to say this at a time. And we have Lewis in chat saying would probably be P1, judging by Delta. Not impossible. But yeah. Why is Pi out? Pi is P10. That means, yeah, Brent is also out, so the bottom 10 is out. They can't eliminate Pi just because Pi crashed, but it says Pi is out. If you crash on track, you're out of all qualifying sessions. Now, I've seen people crash and still get through and not go out. We have 12 minutes. Who is first on track? It is a black car. It's Lewis the Beaker. We have 9 people going through to Q3 then. I've definitely seen people crash and then go through anyways. I don't know. Maybe it was because it was after Sugar Flag and everything. I'm not sure. Um, but yeah, Pi is starting P10. And I think that means Pi won't have free type choice. Because Pi was still in P10. Dan apparently on the mediums goes back into the pits. So now we see where the benchmark will be with Lewis the Beaker. And Lewis invalidates, so we will go on board with Drunk Pirates. So Drunk Pirate will set the bar for Q3. Who we know? Drivers like Zach, Liam isn't here. But Zach can and will beat it. 42.998. Servo with a 43.1. Sharpie is the next one because lose the Beaker. Oh, actually, Spillage is the next one and goes P4. 43.6. Which is definitely not a bad lap time. Oh, and Sharpie gets on the curb a bit and oversteers. And lost a bit of time on that on a 43.7. Street. A 44.009. And now Panda. Coming through. Panda 43.7. Let's see what Lewis the Beaker can do now then. Zach improves 42.963. And Lewis the Beaker 42.8. He's currently on pole position, but a lot can change. Everyone will have one more go. Let's hope this Williams gets out of the way. And it does. So now Dan uses the curb to get the car turned in. Who was that? Was a Street going up to 5th? A 43.6. Dan purple through the second sector. That's Dan 42.8. 5, 1. Goes purple. And we'll have to sprint back to the pits to have time. Oh, and Zach. The horse there luckily going into the pits. Chervo on an outlap. Chervo, if you're watching this, or Servo, or if you're watching this back, please tell me how to actually say your name. Is it Chervo with like a ch sound, or is it Servo like an s sound? I would love to know, so I can pronounce the name correctly for you. It feels like it should be a Chervo, but I'm not sure. I don't know if foreign language is good enough. Foreign names good enough. I think Chervo is. No. Drunk Pirate is furthest ahead. So we will go on board with Aston Martin. Can they get into the 42s and challenge Zach, Lewis and Dan for position? Dan goes into the pits now. We'll have enough time to go out and around again. Drunk Pirate is ahead into sector 1. Go on board with Servo just to see the sector time from the Mercedes driver. Servo is also ahead and does a purple sector 1. Now the cars have to get out of the way. Hopefully don't get too much dirty air. Oh, and Drunk Pirate spins and taps the wall. That is Drunk Pirate done with qualifying. And Dan has retired in the pits. Doesn't feel the need to go out again. We will see. I think Lewis can get the pole position here. Let's see Servo then. Can the Mercedes driver do anything? Servo. As we have a bit of rain here in Q3, and now the question is, will the grip fade away too fast? We will go on board with Spillage. Spillage is behind, but we'll still go on board with them to see if Spillage goes into the pits. Mounted that curb just a little too much. Now Panda then. Can Panda improve anything? Panda, Hugger Bros. No. Let's see. I think the grip is fading away for the drivers, and obviously with Spa being such a big track, it's so hard. Sharpie improves slightly, says P7. Let's go on board with Zach. Zach can see sun and a little bit of rain, but he's improving. Lewis then is behind. It might be a Zach pole position. Can Zach get it into the bus stop? This seems like the wettest part of the track. Zach going P2. Can Lewis do anything? No, not with that amount of oh, and does a half donut. And these drivers are pushing. So we have Dan on pole once again. Yeah, that is qualifying over. We're just waiting for Sharpie and Panda to get pushed into the pits. So then, qualifying 3, Dan takes the first pole position ahead of Zach. Lewis the Beaker P3, Drunk Pirate P4, Servo P5 or Turbo, Street goes P6, Sharpie P7, Spillage P8, Panda P9, and Pi gets P10 after crashing in Q2. Now we have 22 laps, and if qualifying is anything to go by, I'm not holding out too much hope of no safety cars. Depends on the weather too. Oh, it's not looking fun, that's for sure. So then we have about 15 seconds as we have Lewis in chat. Zach beat me by 8 thousandths. I'm done. Yeah, that's life sometimes. So we have 5 red lights. We are away for season 5, and someone has stalled. Someone stalled on the. It's Servo. Servo stalls on the grid. And Drunk Pirates up to P2. Oh, and drops both Zach and Lewis. Zach and Lewis side by side. Up to Arouge. Oh, and now something has happened to Zach. I think Zach had to let Drunk Pirate go. So Dan gets away very well, and now Panda is going side by side with Drunk Pirate. Oh, can't quite get it. Oh, and that's someone around. It is Brenty, who has done the exact same thing they did in qualifying and IronCon as well, going slowly. Doesn't look to be any damage with the car, but looks might be deceiving. Jonesy, oh! Jonesy and Stooge in a battle for 1 point. See Jonesy. You can also see Pie a bit further up the field. Also spillage on street. A lot of good fights here. I'm going board with Drunk Pirate though. Can they make a move down into bus stop? Has a little look, but decides not to go for it. Lewis on the medium tires as well. Has had a great start. Now needs to do something. An idea would be to go fast, probably, because those mediums aren't going to be quick right now. But if there's a late safety car around lap 12-13, then Lewis Beaker is in prime position. To 13, somewhere around there, I think. Oh, and Panda is out. Panda is out. And that's gonna be a safety car. It's a VSC, which definitely warrants a... Oh, and it's a full course safety car. And that gives Brenty, Uzuri and IronCon a chance to catch up to Ozan. Now is the question, what do you do? It's lap 1. Do you go in, put mediums on, put hards on maybe, to do... Oh, as a Brenty gets 3 seconds. Dan goes into the pits. Interesting. Drunk Pirate stays. Lewis is gonna stay. Zach also goes into the pits. This is very interesting from the drivers. Looks to be medium tires as well. And there's a whole gaggle of cars coming in. Let's look at what tires they are putting on. It looks to be mediums for everyone, which, can they do 20 laps? Seems a bit far, but yeah, maybe. And Lewis has DNF'd. Lewis DNFs. How have you managed that, Lewis? How have you managed to crash there? Lewis crashes in a straight line on the safety car. Lewis, how have you managed that? Oh no, Lewis runs into the back of Pirate. Oh no. Luckily Drunk Pirates didn't get a penalty from that though. Lewis plowed into Jack. Jack has side pod damage. So that is what happened. Drunk Pirate does have damage from that. Don't know if I should tell that actually, if someone is watching. But if, yeah, well, that's gonna make life difficult. Interesting choice from everyone to go on medium tires. Except for Brenty. Brenty goes on softs and will be quick for about 11 laps. I think fresh softs can go about that 10-11 laps. So the safety car is going to be out for one more lap. Then go in next lap. Let's look at the big winners and losers. Obviously this is a bit skewed with pit stops, but Barbarian has done very well, up 12 positions, the same with Ozen. Uzuri also up 8 positions, Commons up 2. We have Pi up 7 positions, obviously has gained a bit from pit stops. But yeah, it will be interesting to see how this pans out. The drivers staying out will have to pit around lap 12 or 13. And whilst their softs will be quite good, the drivers who have pit, like Dan, Sack, Spillage, all of them can pit again for softs if they want to and be quicker, or stay out maybe even the rest of the race. And Drunk Pirate, if you're listening to this, or if you're watching him, watching it afterwards, we have Lewis in chat now, rooting for you, just from how stupid he is, according to himself. But Drunk Pirate is now in control of the field. The safety car has pulled away, and now the question is, when do you go? Do you go early, try to catch them off guard? Do you wait until the final chicane and go just after the line? And they have gone, as Lewis said in chat, if I was asking if I was gonna roast whoever put the safety car out, and I think you did that to yourself. So yeah, no need. Brenty going for the move on Stooge. Obviously has the faster tire. Oh, that looked like Stooge turned in to Brenty. Losing a bit of time now. Hopefully no one got damaged. Usuri. Oh, and Sharp is now in a very vulnerable position and will drop all the way back to last place. I don't know what happened there. But Drunk Pirate already has a second down to street. Will now have to use the pace to just try and pull away as far as possible, because Dan isn't gonna maybe isn't stopping again, depending on how good the tire wear is. 4 laps completed out of 22, which means 18 laps to go. 18 laps on mediums sounds a bit far. Maybe possible if you're kind to them. You see Dan hunting down his former team of Alfa Romeo, going around one of them. Oh, and goes off track, and that might be a warning. Which is something. From Pirate though, fastest lap of the race so far. It's very good. Now Dan has set target on Iron Con. Oh, and goes around. Spillage is out. Will that be another safety car? Yes, it is. And Dan backs off. Iron Con looked ahead when the safety car came out, so wait, let me go on the airport site. Village brought out the second safety car. Safety car 2 is out. 4 drivers are out already. They didn't even see when Brenty crashed. Or he just retired in the pits. Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I guess the stream will catch that, but now they are going into the pits, so Pi takes over the lead. And Barbarian stays out. Interesting from Barbarian. The rest of the soft runners have pitted now, so obviously the tires doesn't take too much beating on the safety car, obviously. Makes them go further with the grip, so yeah. They've honestly only had like 3 actual race laps, so those tires are probably not too worn. With qualifying, I'd say like 30% maybe, 35, maybe 40%. But yeah, it's not gonna be too bad. They aren't gonna be too great. Obviously they aren't fresh anymore. And if Barbarian started top 10, then I mean, I would prefer racing, Liam. I would definitely prefer racing. Yeah, being behind the safety car isn't fun, especially when it's the longest lap on Earth. I'm so happy with F1 isn't doing Nordschleife, because that would be horrendous. But it's basically half of Nordschleife, so Yeah, but I would prefer racing, obviously. Yeah, you just have to make do with what you're dealt with. Foskett and Ironcon has gone on hard tires and will definitely not pit again. This presenting it's Gran Turismo. Yeah, I mean we have a GT car leading the race currently with the red Mercedes. So yeah, we're halfway there. We're doing a track that has about the length of Nordschleife, which I think is on Gran Turismo as well. So, but yeah, it's interesting to see everyone's strategy instead. But yeah, if Barbarian started on those outside the top 10, they will only be 15 or 20% maybe, and will have lots of grip for a few more laps. I can't quite remember if Barbarian started inside the top 10. So I'm just going to do this. Go back in stream. Barbarian did not start in the top 10. So Barbarian's tires is realistically only 10, no, not 10, 15, 20, 25% old. And will have quite a lot of grip and will be pretty fast for at least a few more laps. So if Barbarian can easily or quickly, get by Jonesy and Pie, maybe pull a gap and hope for a third safety car or a virtual safety car to not lose as much. Obviously, as we see the safety car coming in this lap, obviously Dan, who is P1, a net P1, will be helped by this safety car as well, with getting those tires to the end. It's only 12 laps to go when the safety car comes in, so 13 laps. Oh, that looked a bit start-stoppy. I'm not gonna lie from Pi. Pi goes through the chicane and now bolts. Although it did look like bolted before. Barbarian doesn't get the best restart. Would have needed to be closer to Jonesy. Instead it's under pressure from Dan. Under pressure. No, sorry. Dan now going up the carousel, basically. And Barbarian keeps it side by side though. Obviously both have 100% ERS. This is Drunk Pirate and Commons fighting, as there's a yellow flag, and that is iCommons. Couldn't keep it. Usuri has had a mistake as well and gets passed by iCommons. Wrong button. So iCommons is now P14. Stood on the quicker tire now. Fresh mediums against fresh hards. Mostly those hards might come in clutch at the end. Now Sag is getting by. Those softs aren't working. They aren't working at all. And Drunk Pirate. Oh, be careful. Drunk Pirate. Doesn't get by. Barbarian goes into the pits. Good choice. Obviously those tires didn't work. Pi also into the pits. And put softs on, has to, basically. Don't want to put the hards on. I can't choose mediums. It's a bit early, man, but I just said man, which is the Swedish word for butt. Sorry about that. Oh, and Stooge around the outside. Incredible move. And Drunk Pirate is trying to close down the gap to Servo. Obviously don't have the easiest task with the side pod damage, but we'll give it everything, I'm sure. Obviously a big penalty coming Lewis the Beaker's way. For absolutely just rear-ending Drunk Pirates. Obviously haven't seen it, so I'm looking forward to see the clip in the URC chat. Now Pi is trying to get by Barbarian. In a fight for P13. Goes to the inside. Absolutely sends it. Maybe cut the corner to get by. Maybe had all tires. As DRS gets enabled for the first time as Dan sets the fastest lap of the race. But DRS is enabled for the first time this race on lap 11. Which tells you how this race has been. Dan, a Strong Pirate, gets a 3-second time penalty, which will be even more annoying for him. Stooge, just on the back of Foskett, moves around a bit, but gets by quite easily. Foskett on the hards. Have a buffer in Ironcon, also on the hards, in P10. And honestly, if both of Foskett and Ironcon can put themselves in the points on those hard tires, I will be pretty impressed. Because with the safety cars, the medium runners have been able to get them into a window where they can probably take them to the end. You can also see that Dan is closing in on Jonesy now. Drunk Pirate is also there, looking on at the back of Servo. Obviously have to be a lot more careful through corners. We'll probably have a bit of drag as well. So obviously being stuck in a DRS train won't help at all. But now we will look at the fight for first between Jonesy and Dan. Going up I Rouge and Radion. Now opens the DRS. Goes on the outside and is clean past before Lecombs. As Pi sets the fastest lap of the race on the softs, which isn't too confusing, not the right word, but yeah, I couldn't figure out the word I was looking for. Sharpie under pressure from Servo has dropped the DRS to Sack. Under pressure from the Mercedes driver. Drunk Pirate still hanging on. Oh, it's a virtual safety car. Drunk Pirates, obviously a 3-second time penalty. Won't help their current situation. Oh, on street gets a drive-through. That's not what they need. Sharpie into the pits. Why is that then? Jonesy went in for softs. Sharpie goes on mediums. Okay. Sharpie on mediums again. There. Jonesy out in P 7.5. Oh, and spins. Couldn't quite keep it. And Ironcon is out. Ironcon is out. Ironcon crashes as well, both of them. And is that gonna be any safety car? I don't think so. Jonesy has got him rolling again. They tried to go side by side through a Rouge. Up Radion. Just didn't work. Jonesy crashing. Oh, and Ozan is out. Ozan is out. Where? How have you ended up there? That's 2 cars out in the span. Is that both Alfa Romeos as well? I think it is. Both Alfa Romeos out on the same lap. No points for Alfa Romeo. Now Cervo is basically the only battle because Dan got by Zach and just went away. Iron and Jonesy obviously collided. So unlucky for both of them. Obviously Jonesy maybe thought they were getting the hard end of that deal, but obviously got off quite easy compared to Ironcon. Now Pi is closing in on Sharpie. Pi currently with 2 points. Street gets a 3-second time penalty. Street race hasn't been that good. We'll go to penalties for a bit. Everyone with 3 seconds, okay. And I can go back to this. Everyone currently with 3-second time penalties. Who obviously has a penalty. Yeah, I bet he is. Can't be fun dealing with this on the race back. The basically second debut. Having to deal with a broken side pod. Yeah, I obviously don't think it was intentional in any way. Now Pi is closing in on Sharpie, but Sharpie getting that DRS. No, not getting DRS help. That's close enough now to get DRS next time around from Fosket on those hards. Fosket doing a mega job so far. P7 on hard tires, obviously everyone's gonna be quicker. The question is gonna be, can Barbarian and Jonesy catch up? I don't think so, honestly. Oh, as Fosket gets passed by both of them. Obviously those hards aren't gonna help in any way. And now Pi will have Sharpie in a very vulnerable position once again. So the first straight won't help at all. It will only get you closer, which I guess is helpful, but I meant more in a sense of you don't pause on the first straight. Mostly because you have this entire straight that comes now. So Pi closing in, closing in, closing in, closing in. Chooses the outside. It's now ahead if there were a safety car. That's iCommons, I believe. Around. Oops, wrong button. But Pi is ahead of Sharpie. That would have been iCommons around, yeah. The sack is still in P2. Drunk Pirate though doing a very good job staying with sack. It will be interesting to see if Drunk Pirate can get P2. Obviously Sag will have to get a penalty first. It will be interesting as well to see if Servo can get within those 3 seconds. As Drunk Pirates is going around the outside. Don't think he wants to make that move. And doesn't. Sack stays ahead for now. But now I think this is the part where Drunk Pirate struggles the most. Drunk Pirate gets the move. Done. Very nice job indeed, and Drunk Pirate up into P2, and they're 3 seconds back from Dan. They are also 3 seconds ahead of Servo. They don't want to fight, especially Drunk Pirates. Oh, and that is a Usuri around, which brings iCommons not up. iCommons spinning as well. So both Usuri and iCommons with the spin. Now Barbarian is also close to Jonesy. Can't quite get it. But now we have a multitude of battles to watch instead. We have Sharpie on very fresh mediums. Obviously we'll go to the end and have relatively the same pace. Pi looking to the inside and gets given space by Street. Oh, and just keeps it on the line. gets the move done into turn 1. Move I didn't think we were gonna see, because obviously both Street and Sharpie don't have DRS advantage. Sharpie dropping back a bit, but we will follow this. Street gets ahead. Can Sharpie also? Sharpie makes the move to the inside, gives good space, and in the final part of the comms, keeps it on the inside. Oh, Pi got a bit of oversteer and ran into Sharpie. Sharpie gets the move done, and Pi gains 1 position, but then loses 2. And Zach has had a moment. Both Haas's looking very edgy. That has brought Servo to P3 and given Drunk Pirate a bit more breathing space. It is currently only 6 attempts away from losing, now 7 attempts away from losing this second place. He's also catching Dan just a bit. Dan obviously on older tires, pitted during the first safety car. Which is very, very good from Dan, making it last this long. And now Pi is looking at Sharpie, but Sharpie has stayed within the DRS of Street, so Pi is basically not gonna gain a lot. And Foskett has closed the gap to Jonesy. Can Foskett get 2 points from this race? I don't think Foskett is gonna get 0 points unless something happens. Barbarian is basically 5 seconds back plus a 3-second time penalty, so 8 seconds. Whilst Foskett losing so much time in sector 2. It's unbelievable. Go on board with Sharpie instead, who is very close to Street. Looks to the inside but doesn't go for it. And now they are very close, and Street gets a very bad exit and drops behind Sharpie. Or was it intentional? Don't know, but Street closing in. Gets the move done. I don't think Pi is gonna get it though. Pi is too far back to get it. So the driver's working together. Barbarian gets another 3 seconds. That helps Foskett even more in getting the that's now 11 seconds for Barbarian to try and pull away. Obviously Uzuri is almost a lap behind. Barbarian, so it's practically a lap behind. So, and would you believe if I said Drunk Pirate has basically caught up to Dan? It's not quite within 1 second, but those tires are dropping off for Dan. They will not be very good right now. And Street, Sharpie, and Pie. In this battle, I think Sharpie has the best tires. Pie obviously with the softs, but they are 10 laps old now. Compared to Sharpie's 7 lap old mediums. And Street's 13 lap old mediums. So we have a 3-way battle for P6. We have Sharpie going past. Now will Pie get past? Decides to back off into the comms and stays behind for another lap. And there's only 1 lap to go. And Drunk Pirate is in the DRS. So we are gonna keep an eye on this battle right here, right now. And we will go back to Dan versus Drunk Pirate at the end of the lap. So now then, coming on to the final lap, Drunk Pirate has closed up and Sharpie retires. Sharpie retires. Which gives Barbarian a point as well. And Dan gets a 3-second time penalty. This battle is now most definitely on. 3 seconds for Dan, 3 seconds for Drunk Pirate. We will go on board quickly with Pie. I think something happened with Street as well. Street is lacking a front wing. Will probably give the position up then. I'm sorry, we have to look at this battle for P1. Dan's tires are going off the cliff. Drunk Pirates is edging closer to that cliff. Drunk Pirate, who got run into by Lewis very early on, has struggled with the car ever since, but has fought a very good battle and is now right on the back of Dan. Can Drunk Pirate get it? Closing and closing. Has a little look. Gets closer. Can I get a better exit? Closing right up to Dan. Up onto the line. Dan gets it. Servo. As I think something happened to Pie. But Servo gets P3. Sack will come home to get 4th. Oh, Pie has a flat tire. Pie has a flat tire and spins. And Pie might not even get any points. Actually, Pie will get points because Azuri is a lap down. And so will I comment. So Pie will luckily get 1 point. Street without a front wing coming through the bus stop to claim P9. And Pie, final guy to finish, gets P10 with a flat tire. Wow, what a race. What a season. Driver of the day, according to the game, is Barbarian. Barbarian did very well to stay in the race. My driver of the day has to be either Jack or Drunk Pirate or Dan. Very lovely. I will not capture the standings. Here we are then. Dan winning the race. Drunk Pirate P2. Chervo P3. Slovakia on the podium. Sack P4, Stooge P5, Jonesy P6, Foskett P7, Barbarian from P17 to P8, very good. Street P9, Pi P10, Uzuri one lap down, P11, Commons P12, Sharpie P13, Ozan, Ironcon, Spillage, Sprinty, Lucy Beaker and Panda all DNF'd in this race. You can also see the penalties. Just capturing all of this to the viewers if they need it. Yeah, very good race. My driver of the day, if I had to choose one, Drunk Pirates or Jack. Very, very good fight. Dealing with the sidepod damage basically the entirety of the race. The season's first potential to improve has to be Lewis the Beaker, running straight into the back of Jack. Obviously, don't think it was intentional, but pretty stupid nonetheless. Yeah, that's race 1, season 5, race 1, Belgium. Very fun. Hoping to see you guys next time out. I've been your host. Feel free to check my channel out even more if you want to. But yeah, that has been the race. I will see you guys next week. Enjoy your evenings and goodbye.